A brief history of Djembe and its music. So it was the 13th century, and it was a place called the Malian Empire in West Africa. Looked kind of like this. And in that place, it was the women that created the music with this ancient instrument and the songs with this ancient instrument. Now, why did they do that? And I think about that, and I think about, well, with women in general, in my experience, a woman comes into a room, she looks around, and she starts to figure out what's necessary, what could be most beneficial for the community of this room, of this space, of this place. So the way I think it happened was this way. So, you know, Djembe culture is largely agrarian, there's a lot of farming going on. I see a dozen farmers on the horizon, all in silhouette. And these farmers, this is in the Sahel, which is a dividing line between the Sahara and sub-Saharan Africa. And it's in the daytime, it's pretty much desert climate, and it's very hot. If you're a farmer, it's very hot in the day when you're working. So they're toiling separately, and a woman sees this on the horizon. She sees a dozen farmers, and she sees them all working totally separately and suffering, you know, and working hard, and oof. And she realizes, you know, without the farmer, we would be nowhere. We really love the farmer. How about, hey farmer, we love you, yeah, come on, say with me now, come on. You know, I mean, in a Malinke, Bambara sort of Upper Guinea way, though, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's, to me, how it must have happened. The women start singing and clapping, and then the farmers, they hear this out of the corner of their ear, and suddenly, they each start a little bit moving in time, a little bit, moving in time, a little bit moving, in time, then moving in time, moving in time, moving in time, you know. And then you see on the horizon, the woman sees the dozen farmers as she's clapping and singing, and she sees them come on together. Oh, ila willy wo konko daba, kono tilu barana, ila willy wo konko daba, kono tilu barana, ila willy wo konko daba, kono tilu barana, ila willy wo konko daba, kolen kola seneke la lu barana. And the music was born. And the women created music for the rites of passage, for the important people coming together, for the naming ceremonies, for everything that would happen in the village. Now, around the same time, in the 13th century, the Numu, the caste of blacksmiths, were the ones that first carved the djembe. And I don't know what happened on that day when one clever Numu decided to put a goat skin on a hollowed out shell. But I can say that the world heard this for the first time. And I can imagine what this must have been like in the village. Having been there myself, I see that in the village the sounds don't change very often at all. In some villages there's no roads at all. You hear the same sounds that your parents heard, that their parents heard, that their parents heard, that their parents heard, etc., etc. So you don't hear new sounds in this place very often at all. So I imagine that the people in the village were thinking, is the earth speaking? Are the trees talking to us? Is the sky trying to warn us of something? Well, I imagine the people in the village, they began to search out the sound. And they began to search around the Tibos and across the Baraba and behind the Baobab. And they see the blacksmith. Well, the blacksmith is tripping too, because he don't know either. But wow, as his hands go, suddenly they begin to dance. And after a while, it's no longer a pulse coming out of the drum, it's a whole rhythm. And as time progressed, then the sounds got a little bit more clear. So the women saw the djembe player play like that. And they said to him, hey, what do you call that thing right there? I'm going to call it Djembe. 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 This is a djembe. Okay, take that djembe that you created there, and please, would you play the music that we, the women, created on that djembe that you created? That okay? Say, okay, I like that idea. And the rhythms became djembe rhythms. And that's how I've heard